Tax Solutions Now is a complimentary referral service that connects callers to companies that provide tax services.
Money matters. If you owe thousands in back taxes to the IRS, how much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I paid less than I owe.
That's right. Money matters. So call Tax Solutions Now and get the IRS off your back. Since 2014, Tax Solutions Now has been a leader in the tax resolution industry. Remove wage garnishments, property liens, fines, and penalties. Qualify for the Fresh Start program or even uncollectible status. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I owed the IRS over $10,000. I paid a fraction of what I owed.
Call now to reduce or even eliminate your back taxes.
I called Tax Solutions Now and got the IRS off my back. Thanks. You saved us a ton of money.
Money matters. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you? Call now and find out.
Call 800-683-7377. 800-683-7377. 800-683-7377.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casinos now, your favorite sports book available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E, and you get a risk-free bet up to $300 and 20 bonus dollars at BorgataCasino.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Okay, in this week's edition of the book report, we've got numbers, deals, legislation, and some more entries into our blotter. Seems to be becoming a more and more regular segment for our book reports here.
Well, we had that as a regular segment a couple years ago, the Turnpike Sports Police blotter, the athletes who were arrested that week.
I'm actually going to have to go back and do a betting blotter.
We should do some more of that, like at least once a month.
Well, with the shutdown, no one was really getting in any trouble anyway.
Yeah,
so.
Right.
I mean, certain players got in trouble with casinos and everything else, but nothing really was going on because of the shutdown. They were all quiet. But this week, we got a couple records to talk about for the month of November. Indiana and Oregon both have records to talk about. Indiana released their November numbers. They had a record handle for the month of $251.4 million. Revenue of $25.3 million, and they had an approximate hold of 10%. So that, again, 10%. I keep hitting on that one.
That's a natural hold.
That's
There's
a natural hold.
Legislations that say, Indiana has to have a 10% hold.
This is the third straight month of a handle of at least $200 million. And also, it's the third consecutive monthly high for taxes. So they have a tax record as well.
Oh, wow.
$2.4 million for the month of November in terms of taxes. Now, taxes are computed differently than revenue. Revenue is the hold, basically, where it's not only just the taxable revenue, it's also the promos and the free bets that the books give out.
Okay.
So you have three different things to look at: the handle, hold, and tax. But they have set a tax record, $2.4 million for the month of November. Oregon, now that's basically run through Scoreboard, which is their app. It's run by the lottery, and also the sports betting tech is Intralot.
Okay.
And
Oregon set a record, huh?
Yep.
All right.
They have a record revenue for November, over $4 million for the month of November, a handle of approximately $25 million. The revenue record, that's up almost 50% month over month. So they have had a really steady increase in the revenue generated by the Scoreboard app. Hold of 16.4%.
Okay. Wow. All right. Wow. Good for them.
That's an incredible hold number. Year-to-date revenue reported as $17 million for the state of Oregon. Football is the biggest sport bet on in the state, $14.7 million. 59% of the November bets were on football. Soccer came in second with $3.8 million, basketball $2.2, and here we go, table tennis. Hanging around, $1.4 million.
Table tennis.
They out-earned or out-wagered or out-handled, I guess is the phrasing, mixed martial arts, which brought in only $800,000.
That's impressive. I thought the mixed martial arts would do better than table tennis, but hey, they like their table tennis in Oregon.
The one thing I've noticed about table tennis versus MMA, there's a lot more table tennis going on. Depending on what markets
I guess
you have.
table tennis is more of a daily kind of sport. It's throughout the week.
It's throughout the day, throughout
and
the night.
MMA is usually on a weekend,
Well, again, it also depends on what state can offer what.
Okay.
What sport. Because if you offer a lot more offerings in table tennis, because there are lots of different leagues,
Yep.
you're going to have a bigger handle. If you only offer like UFC in terms of MMA, that restricts the amount of money coming in on a wager for that sport. I mean, that's the same way with football, basketball, rugby. Rugby seems to be picking up steam, I've noticed, too. A lot more states are allowing rugby betting on their approved sports betting lists.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, table tennis may just have more events than MMA. I think MMA's got a more rabid fan base than table tennis.
Sure.
I've never met a rabid table tennis fan.
And table tennis is, a lot overseas, which means, if you want to bet on something 10 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, guess what's playing? It's table tennis or soccer.
That's true. Well, I just mentioned that, or, in terms of what events are being offered by what states and everything else. I just went to a little tangent on that. Kind of goes with what Nevada just did. The Gaming Control Board just approved wagering on several new NBA awards.
Oh, okay.
You weren't allowed to do these before. Sixth Man of the Year, Coach of the Year, Most Improved Player, and Defensive Player of the Year. Those categories you were never able to bet on them in Nevada.
I'm very surprised. I would think Nevada would have those options to bet on, but no, I guess they didn't.
No, it's kind of interesting to see.
But the
what
weird thing is,
offered
Nevada still has, you're not allowed to complete your registration for your online sports books on your phone or your tablet or you have to go to a physical sports book to complete your registration for your online registration, which doesn't make sense. But you can bet on these basketball.
Well, again, it's a matter of the states running with the situation that the entire country is in with the COVID and the shutdowns and the restrictions. A lot of states have shut down their casinos again. Pennsylvania as a whole has started shutting down everything. I believe their entire industry is going to be shut down for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey may or may not do it. Governor Murphy's been kind of wishy-washy on that topic. Really hasn't said one way or the other.
I'm not sure what New Jersey's going to do with their casinos in Atlantic City. So, there have restrictions and for people inside, and you have to do your mask, and they take your temperature when you walk in. But I'm not too sure about what they're going to do with regard to keeping open.
Well, what'll be interesting to see in New Jersey, it's not just the casinos; it's the horse racing too.
Yeah.
I know the horse racing industry is still going.
Mm-hmm.
Again, restrictions on the casinos. I know Michigan shut down a whole bunch of casinos.
Yeah, in Detroit, right?
Yep. The Indian casinos are still open. The commercial casinos. That's also the other dichotomy you got to learn in terms of commercial versus the Indian.
Yeah,
Native American, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, the Native American doesn't go by the laws of the state. So, they have to choose whether they're going to stay open or not. So.
Well, I'm kind of curious to see what other states are going to be doing this, expanding their NBA offerings. The league, like we talked about earlier, the league is going to be opening up pretty soon around Christmas, December 22nd, as a matter of fact. Mm-hmm. So I know you have a lot of different futures being offered. I know Play Sugar House had some of these on there. PointsBet has them.
Yep.
So I think New Jersey's ahead of the curve with some of these things. Nevada is finally starting to catch up. Illinois actually just extended their non-in-person requirement. They got you don't have to go in person right now.
Okay.
Through January.
You don't have to go in person to finish registering for your online.
You can still
account.
register online.
Okay. Good.
Rhode Island got rid of it completely. That's not coming back.
Well, good for Rhode Island.
Although they are shut down right now. The only thing going is the sports betting stuff.
Good.
DraftKings has been kind of busy over the last week here. Not only in terms of making deals, but also getting involved with helping out a push for sports betting legislation here. The deals, one in Tennessee, one in Connecticut. DraftKings became the official sports betting partner of the Nashville Predators.
Great.
They're going to be offering, basically, they're going to have these special promos, but the normal promo is if you're in Tennessee, you get a deposit bonus of up to $1,000 upon sign-up. You're going to see.
Are they going to have like the signage in the arena?
Going to have all normal bells and whistles. Normal bells and whistles.
Their pregame and their things like that.
You're also going to see a static dasher board and virtual signage visible on TV for all regionally broadcast Predators games. You know all this stuff that they overlay on the broadcast TV, the broadcast editions of everything.
Okay, good.
They change them every period on the ice. You're going to see some digitally created stuff on the ice for DraftKings during this stuff.
Great.
They're going to be, let's see, let me get this. They're also going to be digital social media content as well. DraftKings are going to be all over the Predators homepage. They're going to be app integration of the Predators app, social media giveaways. They're also going to have a regular presence in, I actually like the way this nickname they gave them, This Week in Smashville.
Okay.
Nashville, Smashville.
Yeah, all right.
That's the Predators newsletter.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to be everywhere. Wherever you see a Predators thing, you're going to see DraftKings.
DraftKings all the time in Nashville.
Now, DraftKings also did a deal with the Mashantucket Pequot Tribal Nation in Connecticut for sports betting.
Okay. Now, what is
Foxwoods?
Foxwoods? Okay, because there's another one, Mohegan Sun in Ledyard, Connecticut.
Yes.
So we're talking about Foxwoods.
This is Foxwoods. Now, what this allows them, it's basically the same type of sports betting deal everywhere you see. It's a partnership. It also has a fantasy sports component to it. That's going to launch before the sports betting because sports betting is not legal in Connecticut yet.
Okay. Well, I guess they're betting on sports betting being legal in Connecticut, huh?
Well, what happened here?
How close is Connecticut to actually doing that?
Everyone is contemplating 2021 for Connecticut.
It makes sense.
Now, what happened? A couple things happened that put this into motion as well for sports betting in Connecticut that affected legislation too. Not only this deal, but the tribe, the Mashantucket Pequot tribe. They have a deal with the Native Americans that work with Mohegan Sun, where they were going to try and launch another casino towards the Massachusetts border together.
Okay.
They dropped those plans. Now, dropping those plans, this deal with DraftKings for sports betting has now spurred on the governor to say, maybe we can get something together, work out the gaming compact the right way, and get it moving in the proper direction here. Now, the one thing everyone is wondering what's going to happen, both tribes have exclusive gaming rights in Connecticut.
Okay.
They don't know if the governor is going to be willing to give them exclusive sports betting rights.
Okay. That should be interesting.
Which was important why DraftKings made this deal.
All right.
Because if they get the exclusive compact for sports betting in Connecticut, they're in great position. If it's a wide open field, it'll be fun to watch exactly how and who comes in and when they come in for that state for sports betting.
Well, look, DraftKings is big in New England. I mean, their corporate headquarters is in Boston. I know in New Hampshire they are the only sports book around, right? It's just DraftKings.
That's it.
It's
an exclusive deal.
So I guess hopefully they were trying to do this for Connecticut, and we'll see how that works out.
Well, one of the other states, while we're talking legislation, is Ohio. That has now reintroduced a lot of their sports betting legislation. One of the big hurdles, they just passed a bill within the last week or so here where they're moving ahead with sports betting. Mm-hmm. $100,000 application fee and then a $100,000 license fee every 3 years. That's the main thrust of getting a sports betting license from the state of Ohio right now under this new bill. What was causing the issue was the skins for online sports betting companies per license. When the first bill was introduced way back earlier this year, the skins were at 6. Number of skins were 6 for each casino license.
Okay. That's pretty good.
As it was going through committee.
In New Jersey, it's 3. Right?
Well, that was the problem.
Yeah.
A lot of the committee members didn't like that.
Okay.
So they shaved it down to 3.
Oh, all right.
Now they shaved it down to 2 a month or so after that. Still wasn't going. This new version of the bill strips it down to 1 skin per casino.
Oh.
So you have the casino can have sports betting, their own sports betting online component. They can give it to a online entity. Now, the way this bill is set up, basically all of the skins are gone. Okay. Once this issues, there's 1 skin that's up in the air, but out of the 11 possible sports betting brands that can come in as a mobile brand under this, 10 of them are already as part of a already pre-existing deal.
Okay. And what state is this again?
This is Ohio.
This is Ohio. Okay.
They haven't passed it yet. It's moving through. We got out of committee. It's moving ahead, and they're starting to get a lot of more support for this.
These new states doing this legislation for sports betting, there's 17 states and District of Columbia already have sports betting, and they can see how it's going, and they see what these other states did in terms of their legislation. Why is this taking so long? Why are these
There's a lot of opponents.
haggling?
There's a lot of opponents.
But it's just, there are cases you can follow in the United States where, there are states breaking records. I'm not quite sure why they're not following what these other states are doing so they can be as successful as these other states. But they're like bickering about these things. It's
just a matter
ridiculous.
of satisfying their constituency, these politicians.
And the lobbyists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm more interested to see what happens in North Carolina. We've got some legislation or some sports betting legislation maneuvering from North Carolina, too. And it really has to do with the gambling compact between the state and the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians.
Okay.
The Tribal Council approved an amended compact Thursday, December 3rd. General Assembly passed legislation allowing the tribe to pursue sports betting last year. They're just getting to this compact issue right now. July 2019,
well,
they have
it's
the
been
legislation.
A tough year. It's
been
kind of a tough year.
What's been going on is the governor has been pushing off renegotiating the gambling compact.
Okay.
Now they're talking about moving ahead with a new compact. Like I said, it was just voted on December 3rd by the tribe. It's got to go into committee now again and be approved by the state. This is going to be interesting to watch because under the new agreement that was just approved, sports betting can occur only on tribal lands, and it can only be for sporting events that take place outside the reservations.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay.
Wagers have to be placed on site at the tribal casinos or the tribal sports books, wherever there may be.
So no mobile?
No mobile.
Okay.
Not yet. And they're trying to figure out whether or not there's going to be how they're going to work the online side of everything. Because right now, the way the compact is phrased, it can only be online betting on the reservations.
Okay.
You can't go outside a reservation in the state of North Carolina and bet on your phone.
Okay, well, that's why I said no mobile. So.
Well, it's
mobile
on the reservation.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, the reservation's bigger than the casino.
Well, yeah, of course. But it's really putting the geolocation software to the test, huh?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be interesting to see how North Carolina handles this.
Okay.
Again, Michigan has announced a bunch of different licensing to about 11 different companies. So
even
we'll
online
see
casinos, too.
Yep, we'll be seeing that launch sometime in early 2021. January is the target month for all this stuff. So, again, we have a whole bunch of other things to talk about, but we're out of time for this week. Just head on over to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog button. You'll see the book report put up there. We'll have everything, all the things we just talked about, plus a lot of the other news that we didn't get a chance to hit this week. You'll see that listed there as well. So that's it for our book report this week.
And that'll do it for us this week. If you're going out to one of the newly reopened casinos or sports books, please be safe. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.